From Manager Bay, this is ABC Columbia News.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for ABC Columbia News at noon. I'm Crysty Vaughan. We have a big weekend of events here in the Midlands, so we're going to get right to your forecast. Tyler Ryan is in the Weather Center. Tyler, a beautiful day outside right now, but what can we expect as the weekend gets underway?
A lot of warmth, Christy, and at least for the first part of the weekend. A lot of sunshine, just like today, as a matter of fact. Here's our live look out into the city. Lots and lots of blue skies, some gentle wind. Really not too bad, actually, here anyway. And very, very comfortable temperatures. We continue to climb up the old thermometer. Look at that, 71 degrees at this hour. This is nice to be able to say and to report to you. Humidity's 23%. A couple of clouds out by the airport, but for the most part, we are dry as a bone right now. We do have some storms making their way towards us tomorrow, but right now it looks like a very small chance of really anything to be concerned about for the weekend plans. Of course, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, Founders Park will be full of SEC baseball. We, of course, have got the St. Pat's in 5 Points adventure as well. Today, though, 73 degrees, bright sunshine, a very, very nice afternoon. That timeline, the potential for rain, all that, Christy, we'll talk about in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. Today, the safety of a $14.2 million bridge that collapsed, killing 6, is being called into question. The deaths and injuries came after the pedestrian bridge collapsed near Florida International University yesterday. Natasha Chen is in Miami with the very latest.
I just hear this really loud cracking sound, and I'm looking around wondering where it was coming from, and then I looked and I actually saw the bridge go down.
The pedestrian bridge rescue is now a recovery operation today.
So now this has turned into from a rescue to a recovery operation. What we can confirm is at this point, at least we can confirm 6 fatalities.
The National Transportation Safety Board is on the scene and in the very early stages of investigating the deadly collapse of a bridge that University President Mark Rosenberg said just days ago was built to provide a safe way to cross the busy intersection.
This new bridge is critical for student safety, and we're thrilled that they can now have a much safer passage to get to FIU and to get back to their homes in Sweetwater.
President Rosenberg released this message today on the bridge collapse.
Yesterday's accident of the bridge collapse stuns us. It saddens. It's exactly the opposite of what we intended.
What they intended was safety that is now being questioned.
We will hold anybody accountable if anybody's done anything wrong.
That was Natasha Chen reporting. Back here at home, convicted Charleston church shooter Dylan Roof's sister, Morgan Roof, is accused of bringing a weapon to her school earlier this week. Deputies say she had marijuana and a knife. ABC Columbia's Angela Rogers talked with school officials and deputies about their swift action in this case.
There was a rumor about a threat at AC Flora. Just as a precaution, no credible threat, but just as a precaution, we had additional staff on campus today as well as additional support from law enforcement.
Roof's Snapchat post says the walkout wasn't going to change anything, saying she hopes it's a trap and those participating get shot. Also adding a racial element to the post, which the school said was a hateful message and extremely inappropriate.
We have to take every single thing serious, whether you just meant it as a joke or whether you really truly meant it from your heart. We can't distinguish between which one. Everyone has to be taken just as serious as it's written.
Governor Henry McMaster issued a statement saying potential tragedy was avoided at AC Flora High School. He says we don't need any more legislative study committees, debates, or deliberation. We know what we need to do, and we need action now. And Wednesday was proof.
There are a lot of good ideas, but one thing that we know works is having a trained, certified police officer in that school anytime there are children there, every school, every district, not shared with other schools.
Which is something Karen York of Richland School District 1 agreed with. She tells us Richland 1 was one of the first and one of the few school districts that has a school resource officer for every school.
They make a difference every day, just by their presence alone.
It's not something that's a game. It's not joking. It's not humorous at all, period. So it's one of those things that, if you're doing this, you need to stop. You need to think about your actions.
That was our Angela Rogers reporting. Well, while students demonstrated in the nationwide walkout earlier this week, deputies say someone took off with cash in their backpacks. According to Richland County deputies, former custodian Aisha Evans took $180 out of 3 backpacks left in a classroom at Richland Northeast. Deputies say school administrators and the resource officer were able to determine Evans was responsible. Evans is charged with 3 counts of petty larceny. Developing overnight, Lexington School District 2 is taking its shot in the real estate business. Late last night, the district announced it has reached an agreement with Still Hope's Episcopal Retirement Community to sell 2 of the district's properties. Those properties include 10 acres along the 700 block of 9th Street in West Columbia and the old Performing Arts Center, which is located on the corner of 9th Street and B Avenue. The total sale price, more than $4 million. A district spokesperson says the sale will go towards the construction of a new performing arts center. The parent company of Bilo says it will close nearly 100 locations, including several in the Palmetto State. Southeastern Grocers says they are filing for bankruptcy to work on financial restructuring. The company says they will try to have a quick fix and emerge within the next 90 days. A wildfire has burned hundreds of acres in the Francis Marion National Forest. The U.S. Forest Service says the fire just north of Charleston has burned more than 800 acres as of this afternoon. No injuries have been reported and no buildings have been damaged. Investigators say both fires are suspicious. Emergency crews responded to a retirement community in Lancaster County after reports of several homes on fire there. A resident says they received an automated call Thursday from the property management company saying that some houses were on fire. The Lancaster County Emergency Management Director says there were no injuries. He also said the high winds and low humidity did not help firefighters battle the flames. Another day, another PR nightmare for United Airlines. This time, the airline mistakenly shipped a dog bound for Kansas to Japan. As Athena Jones reports, United faces its second controversial incident this week involving a pet.
They showed me the kennel, and the minute I said, "Ergo," up pops this Great Dane.
United Airlines mistakenly shipping this Kansas-bound dog named Ergo more than 6,000 miles away from his intended destination. The 10-year-old German Shepherd winding up in Japan, leaving his family frantic.
I instantly burst into tears, just wondering where my dog was.
The family says that Ergo, who was suffering from an ear infection, made the 16-hour flight with no food or water. He was examined in Japan and is flying back to Kansas with an escort.
He was probably so scared and freaked out, and probably hurting too because he doesn't have his medicine. I'm hoping and praying that he will still be alive.
United apologizing in a statement, saying that an error occurred during connections in Denver for 2 pets sent to the wrong destinations. The mix-up coming one day after this French bulldog died on board a different United flight after flying more than 3 hours from Houston to New York in an overhead bin.
The flight attendants came. She said, "You have to put him up there because it's going to block the path." And we're like, "It's a dog, it's a dog." And she's like, "It doesn't matter, you still have to put it up there." She took him out and opened the thing, and then she got the dog, and he was dead.
United taking full responsibility, acknowledging that the passenger did tell the flight attendant that the dog was in the carrier, but explaining that the attendant did not hear or understand her and did not knowingly place the dog in the overhead bin.
He was a really special dog, and it's just sad how the way he has to just leave.
Lawmakers are demanding answers.
What happened to this pet was disgraceful, and I can't imagine how the pet's owner feels, but we need to get to the bottom of it.
Republican Senator John Kennedy introducing legislation today to ban animals from being put in overhead bins. The Department of Transportation says 18 animals died on board United Airlines flights last year, more than any other airline. These latest incidents coming nearly 1 year after United Airlines faced intense backlash after this video surfaced of a passenger being dragged off a flight for refusing to get off the plane due to overbooking.
Well, coming up here on the News at Noon, grab your best green gear because the luck of the Irish is coming to 5 points. And it's almost time for South Carolina's premier film festival. We roll out the red carpet next.